Do you know what you want out of life? Are you getting the results you are looking for? Do you feel that you are wasting too much time on non-productive activities?
Everyone has the right and the potential to live their dreams. But the question is, where do you begin? What path do you follow?
Discover Bob's step-by-step process, the disciplines and the secrets of personal leadership to turn these questions into answers. The results are measurable and lasting.
Do you have the right to ask? What's stopping you from asking more? Do you know what the real message behind Ask ASK is? Hello, this is Bob Urichuck and welcome to this week's video learning program. Over the past month we've been sharing discipline number 1, Know Your Rights, with you. We've covered 7 rights so far. The rights to your dreams, desires and expectations, the right to have what you want, the right to like yourself as you are, the right to change, the right to fail, the right to be imperfect, the right to choose. And today we're going to share with you the 8th right, the right to ask. In order to add a little bit of variety to this video, allow me to go live in session on your right to ask. Enjoy the next few minutes. Do you have the right to ask?
Yes.
Yes. So why don't people ask more often? Fear of rejection. Okay, let's take a look at that, because that's exactly it. It's fear again. Fear of rejection. So here we go. I don't ask. What's the answer? I don't get. No answer. It's over. However, if I have the courage to ask, what's the chances of getting a positive response? 50%. So am I not better off asking than not asking? If I don't ask, it's no. If I ask, I get a 50% chance of getting it. And if I get a no, did I lose anything? How can you lose something you never had? You see, asking is such an important message. And it's not my message. You all know what ASK stands for, ASK. It's been around for over 2,000 years. Anybody know what A stands for? ASK? When you take a look at this, ASK. A, and I'm going to start it for you, because I know you all know it. You will finish this for me. A stands for ask. Ask and you
Shall.
ask and you shall
Receive.
receive. Exactly. Ask and you shall receive. S stands for seek and you will find. K stands for knock. And what happens when you knock?
Receive.
The door be open. So here's the thing. What if you were to ask yourself, the most important person in the world, what you want to be, what you want to do, and where you want to go? When you know the answers to that, then you could go seeking. It's in the seeking that the doors of opportunity come right in front of us. And then all we got to do is have the courage to knock. And the door will be open, or ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. If you don't knock, the door will not be open. But ask is such an important word. It reminds me of a story back here in Singapore many years ago when I launched my first book. The publisher at the time, SNP Publishing, one of the largest publishing publishers here in Singapore, were telling me that we got a great event planned for you, Bob. We're going to do a book signing at Borders on Friday night. Before the book signing, we're going to do all these media interviews. So I spent the day doing media interviews. That night was to go to a book signing. So when he was telling me about all this, I said, that's really great for you, Lim, but there's one small problem. He goes, what's the problem? I said, well, I don't have a good pen to sign books with. And he looks at me and he goes, so? Well, I just thought as my publisher, it'd be nice of you to buy me a Mont Blanc pen. He said, Bob, do you know how much a Mont Blanc pen costs? I said, yeah, I just came from the Mont Blanc store, anywhere from $500 to $5,000. You guys told me you're the largest publisher, what's $5,000? He looks at me, he laughs, he says, Bob. I said, come on, Poi Lim, you know me, I got the right to ask. I'm just exercising my right. He looks at me and says, Bob, do I have the right to say no? I said, yeah, you got the right to say no. He says, because we don't have a budget for that. I said, that's okay, Poi Lim, I understand that. So the next day we do the media interviews and all, and we get down to the Borders, and I do a half-hour talk, and people start to line up to have their book signed. And while they're starting to line up, I look around the room, and I pull out of my pocket just a, an old hotel pen or a cheap pen. And I look around the room and I see Poy Lim in the back and I just go like this. He comes running to the front. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, I'd like to give Bob a little gift." And he gave me a Mont Blanc pen. Why did I get it? You ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. Now let me tell you about this pen. This is one of my most valued possessions. I'll tell you why. At age 30, I lost everything, except for my family. Whew. Got to hold back here a minute. My heart's trying to speak. But what happened here was, what's the difference between a Mont Blanc pen and any hotel pen or any pen? I find a dollar pen works as well as a $100 pen, and it's probably only $100 or $200. It's not an expensive pen. But the point is, why would someone go out and spend $100 or $200 more on a pen when any pen will do the job? So you see, I came from a point in life where it was more important to put food on the table for my family. It was more important for me to save money for my children's education than it was to have a Mont Blanc pen. But you take a look in Singapore, particularly in Singapore, I see this a lot. People need brands to show their level of success. Would you agree? Yes. And what I've noticed here is a lot of people who have Mont Blanc pens, they do what I call the Singapore walk. Can I demonstrate the Singapore walk? They have the pen here in the pocket, and they walk around like this. Have you ever noticed that? Have you noticed that?
No.
It's still like that? It's what?
Handbags.
Oh, the handbags. But I'm just using the pen. The brands, the handbags, and everything else. Because what does this all show? I'm successful. It's status. Exactly. Is that what success is all about? You see, it goes back to what we talked about earlier. But here's the thing. When I'm talking about asking, I'm not just talking about pens or material things. I'm talking about going inside and asking yourself, what do you want out of life? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? You see, when I was 22 years old, I called into work sick because I was sick and tired of the way my life was going. I sat down at the dining room table with a pad of paper. This is discipline number 5 in the book. And I said to myself, Bob, what do you want out of life? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? And then I had a little game with myself. I said, you know what? If it isn't written down on paper, it'll never happen. So rule number 1, everything has to be written down. And then I said, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to pretend there's no barriers, no limitation, nothing is impossible. Write, everything you want to be, do, and have. And I'm going to give myself 24 hours. Well, I did that. At night, I went to bed asking myself the question, is there anything else? I woke up during the night, put a few more things down. Woke up in the morning, another thing. Driving to work, and I'm asking, Bob, is there anything else? I got to work at 9 o'clock, said, no, that's it. I remember getting out of the car, holding that book up to the sky and saying, that's all I want out of life. I put the book back in the car, went into work. I felt great, I was crying. 6 months later, I lost that book. 18 years later, moving into our new house, I find the book. Now I go reading it. What do you think I was reading? What do you think were the results? Been there, done that, haven't done this yet, but it's still part of the plan. That simple exercise was all started with asking the most important person in the world, what do you want to be, what do you want to do, what do you want to have? It's your choice. You can do it. So when I sign books, make sure you ask, Bob, sign it with your Mont Blanc pen, because that is what this pen is for. Now, if you don't ask, you don't get. I've tried to explain to you in this video the importance of asking. Ask yourself, where do you want to go? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? Then you could go seeking. And it's in the seeking that the doors of opportunity come in front of you. And then all you need to do is have the courage to ask, to knock, and that door will be open. You have the right to ask. Ask more often. Ask more to sell more. Ask more to get more. Now, if you haven't already downloaded the first 3 chapters of Discipline for Life, go do it now. Disciplinedforlife.com. 3 free chapters are waiting for you.